purpose of a gather is to maintain the health of the rangelands. If we can maintain healthy rangelands, and we can maintain healthy horses and other populations of livestock and wildlife that use our public lands. So the main goal for gathering wild horses is to maintain healthy rangelands. What we'll probably do on most gathers is gather most of the population that we know is on the range in that area, and then we'll select from those a number that we put back out on the range. We choose horses based on their size, their color, their conformation, and kind of what we call their temperament, and release those horses back onto the range for producing again. Well, the benefit for the horses being gathered is that we can constantly maintain a healthy rangeland and a healthy area where they're going to live. If we leave too many horses on the range, there might not be enough feed, might not be enough water to sustain healthy horses and healthy populations. So the benefit for the horses is, number one, the rangelands where they live on for the horses that stay there is going to maintain health and be able to sustain animals. Number two, for the animals that do come in off the range, our goal is to get them adopted and put into private care, which is a positive for them also. We use a helicopter to conduct our gather operations. It's been the most efficient and effective and humane way to move the horses into the trap site. And what the pilot will do is he'll kind of float around in the area where the animals are at and get an idea of where the different bands are located. And then he'll kind of try to move them together in the air by the way he positions his helicopter and the proximity he gets to the animals. For the most part, he hangs back a fair amount and gives them quite a bit of distance in order to move forward on their own. And then when they get a little bit closer to the trap site or really close to the holding pens, he'll get a little bit closer just to apply enough pressure so they'll come into the corrals where we need them to be. Well, during the gather process, our pilot, who brings in the horses via helicopter, the ways that they kind of watch out for health and safety of the animals is just keeping a fair distance away from them. If they're moving forward and progressing nicely at their own pace, the helicopter will keep a very comfortable distance away so that they're at a easy lope, maybe a trot or sometimes a walk, to get to the temporary holding pens out here on the ground. And then once the horses are in the holding pens, we separate them by age and sex, and that kind of helps keep the temperament down a little bit too. Well, once the horses are gathered from the range, then we'll select the horses that are going back on the range right here on site, and then horses that are going to be removed from the range will be transported to the Corral Facility. Our Corral Facility in Oregon is located in Hines. Then those animals will go through what we call adoption preparation, and that's where our wild horse wranglers will put the horses through a chute, and they do vaccines, and they'll age them based on the condition of their teeth. And they get a neck brand, and they'll also be wearing a neck tag, which is an identifier for people who are observing the animals at the Corral Facility. And at that point, they'll be at the facility and available for adoption. The minimum age is 18 to be a qualified adopter, and then there are some qualifications or requirements that adopters need to meet in order to take a Mustang home. Some of those things include appropriate fence height and fence materials, shelter, adequate feed, water, and a trailer to haul your horse. So basically a good home and place to keep it. I think it's pretty exciting to be at a wild horse gather. It's really pretty interesting to see the horses traveling across their home territory, and when you get to see them coming in closer to the temporary holding facilities, it's really pretty interesting to see how calm and fairly relaxed they are, and maybe not the picture of what you expect a wild animal to be when they come into some sort of captivity. But it's really pretty exciting, and it's definitely a good experience for anybody who wants to come out and see that.